All right, welcome back to part two of the Sega Genesis collection. Um, we're making our way. I have more games than I even thought, but we'll see how we do here. But picking it up, I've done all the Sonic games. If you want to look at the Sonic games, feel free to go back to part one. But now we're gonna get some sports games out of the way, which I have good memories and a bunch about. But so this was RBI Baseball 4 is the next on the list. I picked this up as a kid, and let's see, we got some codes and stuff written down, some stat stuff maybe. I definitely did this. Yep, that's the kind of stuff I would do. You save the codes. That's what you had to do back then, but it's cool to have. But yeah, I didn't play 4 as much as I did 93. I think I got 4. I definitely had it. You know what? Maybe that's why it was weird for me. I think this is actually, sorry, I'm an idiot. So RBI Baseball 4 was before 93. So 93 was a standalone one. I must be losing my mind in my old age. But anyway, so RBI Baseball 4 actually came out before 93, the one we watched. It came out in 92. So instead of going to RBI Baseball 5, they rebranded to RBI Baseball 93. And so I'm just, but I definitely had this, and I think the funny thing is this has come full circle, because I had this at some point as a kid, and I thought the same thing, that this was after 93, and then I didn't like it, and so I just went back to playing 93. So it fooled me twice in the same lifetime, apparently, but that's okay. So this one is in good shape. RBI Baseball 4. This is the Sega Genesis collection, the gift that keeps on giving of surprises. Very good. It is complete. Let's see. It's got any value. I kind of feel like an idiot, but that's okay. Just like when I was a kid. And it's worth about $10. So yeah. Well, that would make sense then why I didn't like this one as much, because it was not as current as 93. Unless there's RBI Baseball 94 and I'm just totally jumbling my history in my head together, which is cool, really quite possible actually. Let's do this. Sorry, I'm moving some stuff around. I have more games than I thought. Let's do some more sports games. Let's do NBA Live. So NBA Live 96. So again, I played NBA Live 95 at one point. I played NBA Live 97. I don't have 97 here, but I owned it. But I always kind of went back to playing 96. 97 had a weird vibe change to it. So it's that kind of thing where, I would go back and play this one, as opposed, and just, make custom teams or just play. I wasn't too much into the basketball ratings and stats. I don't even think they mattered that much. You could basically take a player that was pretty horrible and do good with them if you wanted to. But this looks nice. It's got the extendo thing. I never knew what this was. I never even questioned it. I assume it's because it needs more memory or something like that. But to this day I have no idea if that's called something. If these carts are called something. But yeah, this was the when it came to basketball games, this was the one that I always went back to and played, at least in the Sega. Even when the 64 games came out, except for some of the NBA Jam style games, I would play on the 64. But the regular, franchise mode kind of games like this, I just kept coming back to the Sega. This was the one I liked playing. Again, these are all stuff that this was part of that, this would be included when I play my brother in a 7-game series. And I don't remember who would win. I'm pretty sure we were pretty evenly matched. I don't remember if there were certain ones that I would be good at. It'd be $9. Okay, so this is worth $9, but I'm pretty sure, it was just, so many of these games, it would come down to the last inning and whoever got lucky. But yeah, this was, I probably should get 97 because I did play it a lot, and I just, yeah, I don't know. All right, moving on. We have another basketball. That's the only basketball game that we have. We have a bunch of football. Let's do. So, well, I should have done this when we were doing RBI baseball, World Series baseball. This was the other game that I played a lot besides RBI. A little bit different style. But I enjoyed this one thoroughly too. I think this was the first one, as you can see. And maybe I'll show you if it has on the back. This one had a different style than RBI baseball. It had you kind of in the batter's box with the strike zone there. Let's see if they have a picture that explains what I'm trying to say. Yeah, see, so if you can see, so it's as opposed to the top down of RBI, right? See there, you can see. So it has the whole view of the batter's box, the catcher and the ump. But this one is more like the catcher's point of view, I guess you would say it. But oh, look at that! See, there he is. Boom, the man, the myth, the legend. Rest in peace, my man. Yeah, but I like this game. I played this game. I'd go back and forth between this and RBI baseball. I think I had a World Series baseball 96 or 95 or 95 because I think this is the 94, even though it doesn't have a date. But one of them you could do like a fantasy draft, and you could and it would crash the game if you did it usually, because it would reformat the entire all the teams. But I would do that. I think that was World Series Baseball 96, which I don't have here. I might have to get that. But yeah, this was a fun game. This was a little more at the time a little more realistic maybe than RBI baseball, just with the announcer. And some other features that I felt it made it feel a little more realistic than RBI baseball. At least, and assuming, which is not a guarantee, if I'm remembering correctly, which who knows with me. But let's see. World Series baseball. So I'm going to try to get through all the sports games because there's not a ton of you watching, but not everyone likes the sports games. They don't have the same, pull that it had for me. There it is. So $9. But the part of this again is not just for the entertainment of my massive audience, but it's just to document it myself. Eventually all these notes I take, I'm gonna put into a computer. So maybe I'll do that with you guys too. I don't know. Who knows? We'll see. But yeah, this one, I mean, the man. When I was a kid, he was, things are just different when you're a kid when you look up to people and players and stuff. All right, so I have a ton of football games, but let's do hockey, and then we'll do some non-sports games. So, let me get this out here. I believe I got this from Whatnot. That's my tag on Whatnot. NHL 96. So just like the other sports, I kind of gravitated this one. I had 95 and maybe even 94 at some point. And then I had 97, but I always came back to 96. This was my favorite one to play. And it's just, even when like 98, until I moved on from Sega, NHL 96 was it. And, this game I spent a lot of time. I don't know how I had time to play all these games back then. I guess different life, obviously, as a kid, but this is a beautiful cart. But this one, again, this was, I was a fan of all the major sports, but when it came to hockey, this was the hockey. I think the next hockey game that held my attention, and it's not as realistic, but it was the Wayne Gretzky hockey on the 64. I think was the next game that made me move on from NHL 96. This isn't the nicest case. It's kind of busted, but the game is nice. Look at this. See, the best sports simulation ever. Game Players Magazine. No lies told. It's good times. NHL 96. Very good, even with the busted case a little bit. The game and the Manny and stuff is good. So let's see. NHL 96. Sega. $10 or so. Yeah, great game. There's great memories of this game. When this was the one that I would play. As you see here, I have 97. But I would go back to 96, and I had 97 as a kid for sure. But sometimes when they were trying to figure out, they were trying to take that next, I feel like when they're trying to take that next step in realism from some of these, like from 96 to 97, they were trying to go a step beyond, and it didn't feel the same to me. And so I would go back to the one I liked. The same thing happened with NBA Live 96. When I went to 97, it just felt a little goofy. And so I would go back to 96. So that's the same thing with this. Not that it was a bad game, but just I was attached to 96, and I know now, that when they come out with Maddens every year, like there's always a big gap in stats and ratings and stuff like that. But back then, I don't think it mattered as much for the most part. So you're able to, unless there was like a rookie or something like that, you could pretty much get done what you wanted to get done. So the skills challenge, I remember that. Oh, this one had the signature. A certain amount of players had like I forget what you had to press to initiate the special move, but a bunch of players had like a special move. I remember that. Again, not something that I was super interested in. I just wanted to go back to 96. So, but still, I mean, fun game. It was in my original collection, so I grabbed it when I saw it at a low price. But let's see here, NHL 97. $13. Yep. All right. Let's see here. We have. Let's do. Let's get rid of one more sports game, and then we're gonna stack all the football games, and we'll do the football games in a little bit. Let's do this. Okay. All right, this is one more sports game. So this game, I did not play this game. This was something I came across, and I got it for like $1. So I can't claim that this was part of my original collection, but it's Greatest Heavyweights, Sega Sports, and honestly, I mean, I don't know. I'll have to when I test these games. Obviously, I'll get a chance to play it. No manual, but again, it was just something I came across. I was thinking I'd try it out one day. But I don't really get into boxing games too much at any point in my gaming career. But again, it's just something I kind of stumbled once. Heavyweights. Very good. Missing manual. So I won't speak on it too much, but it is part of the collection nonetheless. Greatest Heavyweights. If I could spell. Sega Genesis. So it's not complete. Loose. We'll continue it. We'll consider it loose. So it's $9. But if it had the manual, it'd be worth $18. Right. So save that. It's okay. All right. Let's. I guess this one is technically a sports game. I mean, obviously technically, but Winter Olympics. So this was a game I had the opportunity to come across. Oh, it looks beautiful. It's good shape. For really low, but like on the later systems, I really liked like the winter games. Like on 64, I liked the winter games. Doing the ski jump, and I don't know how this would play, but I got it just because. What were they doing before like the Nagano 98 on the 64 is a game I remember. So that's why I wanted to add this. I figure why not, have it. And again, it's very nice. It's beautiful case. The beautiful condition, probably because, again, maybe that's because no one ever played it because it's not a good game. But we will find out eventually when I get around to testing all these. Very good. Maybe, let's see. Winter Olympic Games. Where are you? There it is. So it's $10. $10. All right. So let's move on now. And just some of the. I know. Sorry, you have to wake up because there's no longer any sports games. What should we do? Let's do these. Road Rash. So I know I played Road Rash a ton as a kid. I'm not sure I'd be able to tell you whether I played one more or two more or three more. I just remember playing it. I definitely think I started on one. Because I definitely had all three at some point. But I don't, and I know I put hours into the Road Rash franchise, but I for the life of me I can't remember. And again, maybe when I test these, I'll be able to, like, it will jog my memory a little bit. But for the life of me, I can't remember which was the one that took up the most of my time. Pull off 14 opponents. I mean, that looks. I mean, obviously, I think they all kind of look the same, but that definitely, rings a bell. Road Rash 1. I thought this was a fun game, although some of them, I feel like some of the levels got, if I remember correctly, some of them got a little long. For a kid back then, it was tough to stay engaged, we'll say. No, not Toad Rash. It is indeed Road Rash. Okay, so CIB. It's about $30. We'll see how it compares to 2 and 3 here, which I do have, and we're about to go over. So it's got some sticker stuff there, but overall, I don't. Yeah. So for the life of me, I couldn't tell you if it was this one. It was probably 1 or 2, and then I know I played some 3, but I feel like it was 1 or 2 that really took up my time. But when I test them, I guess that'll be the key to find out. All right, let's move along with the Road Rash franchise. Road Rash 2. The case isn't in the best shape, but the artwork is fine. Here we go. Looks good. Lots of room for passwords. Let's see how the game looks. Oh, beautiful. Oh, man. Looks brand new almost. Although, what would I know? What looks brand new or not? It looks good. We'll just say that. Okay. So, yeah, nice cart. Let's see if we can. I mean, I'm sure there's some differences. I'll have to read this and see if it's. But I mean, the art, the screenshots look fairly similar. But let's see. Let's see with the brand new motorcycles. Okay. 5 new, so it's new tracks, new motorcycles. There was the first game 2 players? I guess it's 1 or 2. So that wasn't a big change. So the ultimate 2-player racing game with a radically unique split screen. I wonder. I'll have to test them out and see what the difference is between that, because I don't remember. This was not something that I like played with my brother or anything like that. So all right, Road Rash 2. And it's nice to have them all here on the same screen. It's worth $29. They're both, I mean, they're, just out of the range of, everyone had them. I feel like once you get up to that, there's a little more rarity to it. All right, and then Road Rash 3. This one, the case is a little bit more in rough shape. It's got some fraying down here, and it's, you know, it's been loved a little bit, but let's see how the cart is. The cart looks great, I think. So we'll see. Again, I'll have to test it to see. I feel like, you know, it can look many different ways, but if it plays, it plays. Yeah. Sorry about that. Yeah, so Road Rush. So there's not. I mean, it looks kind of like the same. I'm pretty sure I probably played Road Rash 1 or 2 the most. I don't really remember that being the difference between. It's not very good. Okay. Let's see what 3. And this one's got a little more value to it. It's 60. So I know I had it. I don't know if I played it, but it'll be nice when I get to the testing phase. See, this one's in different countries. 7 weapons. It's got like a little bit of a storyline. Snitch on your friends or help rebuild their bike. Interesting. That's an interesting dynamic. So yeah, when it comes time to test these, I'm going to figure out how to let you guys know what I think of that. All right. We're going to stop it there. We got another dozen games to get through, so we'll keep moving along, and we're going to start with this one next time. So I'll see you in a minute.